Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. Scuba diving, the Turks and Caicos. Dive site, Magic Mushroom. The Magic Mushroom dive site is located off of the West Caicos Island, just north of the Yankeetown ruins. Like most of the other dive sites here off of West Caicos, the dive site features a wall. It ranges in depth from 40 to 80 feet. This is day 3 of diving in the Turks and Caicos, and dive number 13 for me. This is the 4th dive of the day. It would be my last dive of the day, and it would be my last full dive of the trip. We got in the water just a few minutes after 4 o'clock, and the dive lasted almost exactly 50 minutes. My dive computer recorded a maximum depth of 65 feet and an average depth of 43 feet. The water temperature averaged a comfortable 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, as we're headed west toward the wall from the dive boat, you can see a Barracuda has joined our dive group. As I mentioned, this would be my last full dive of the trip. I'd been having ear challenges up until this point, and you'll notice on this dive I tend to stay a little bit more shallow than the rest of the divers. There's Captain Josh, who's leading our dive. Anyway, I would attempt one more dive the next day. It would only last about 8 minutes, and it would end up being a big mistake. I would actually have severe vertigo on the ascent, and I probably shouldn't have attempted it, but I just didn't want to stop diving. Anyway, lesson learned, always listen to your body. So this will be the last video in this dive series, and it ended up being a great dive. We had a really unique experience at the end of the dive, and we had a great hammerhead encounter. They're critically endangered, and they're different than the scalloped hammerheads. They're actually a lot larger. Anyway, you'll see that near the very end of the dive. This is a filefish right in front of me, and there's the second one. These are actually white-spotted filefish. And in a second, when this fish starts to turn a little bit, you'll see the spots on the body. They're usually found in pairs of 2. See, there you can see the spots. And one of them has spots and one doesn't. I am assuming that one is a male and one is a female, but I'm not sure which is which. Anyway, the white-spotted filefish range in size from 10 to 15 inches, reaching a maximum of about 18 inches, and they're usually found in depths of water ranging from 20 to 70 feet. I'm working close to the edge of the reef here at the top of the wall. Again, my ears were bothering me, and you'll notice the rest of my dive group is lower than me. As I pan off to the right, occasionally you see the bubbles coming up. See, a couple of those folks are quite deeper. Here we have a red lionfish, which is an invasive species here in the Caribbean. You see the rest of the dive group there, and you notice the yellow tank. That's Captain Josh, and he's actually quite a bit deeper. And as I was cruising along here, I noticed all of a sudden Captain Josh was moving very quickly. You can see all the bubbles and see people's fins kicking. And you see this cut. I assumed he was chasing something, but I had no idea what it was. I couldn't see anything at that point as I panned off here to the left. Here's that great hammerhead that came up right in front of me. I only had a couple seconds and I took as many pictures as I could, most of which were pretty grainy, as this is in the winter and late in the day, so the sun was low in the sky and I didn't have a lot of light. But just that quickly, that great hammerhead was gone. And just that quickly it was over. Really got the blood pumping there for a minute though. What a great experience. That's the biggest shark I've ever seen in the water while scuba diving. Here we have either a spot-fin burrfish or a porcupine fish. I snapped a picture and then looked down to check it, and when I came back up, he was on the move. I didn't want to chase him down. That didn't seem like the nice thing to do. Sometimes they'll turn around and look at the camera and hang out for some pictures, but if they're not interested, I don't chase them. I really enjoy the diving here in the Turks and Caicos. There just seems to be an abundance of fish and sharks, and the reefs seem healthy. The visibility's been great. Even late in the day, the reason you're seeing the ISO level change here in the video is just because it's late in the day and there's not as much light, but the water visibility was incredible. I believe this is a spotted trunkfish. He was tucked under the stuff, so I couldn't really get any good photos, but nonetheless I believe it's a spotted trunkfish, which range in size from 6 to 12 inches, reaching a maximum of about 16 inches, and they're usually found in water ranging from 15 to 60 feet. There's some darker patches on this trunkfish. That's why I wasn't 100% sure on the identification, but I nonetheless believe that it is a spotted trunkfish. I enjoy the odd-shaped swimmers like the trunkfish and the cowfish and the trumpet fish. I find them terribly interesting. This barracuda, I think, found me terribly interesting. This gave me a great opportunity to practice my one fin turn in place maneuver so that I could track with this barracuda. Here's another one of those large barrel sponges that this part of the Turks and Caicos is known for. And you see right in front of it is another invasive red lionfish. A lot of marine reserves that don't allow fishing or hunting of any kind still allow you to collect lionfish, but I don't believe they do here in the Turks and Caicos. I'm not sure what they're doing to manage the lionfish population. As I mentioned, the lionfish are an invasive species here in the Caribbean, and as such they have no natural predators, so they really can decimate the ecosystem. Lionfish actually taste pretty good in my opinion. It's really light, white, flaky fish, quite tasty. Since the lionfish are invasive and problematic, I don't take as much care with them in terms of getting really close or getting the camera right up to them when I can. Although I do take some caution because they do have those venomous spines. What a spectacular time in the Turks and Caicos. I can't wait to get back. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.